Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. Obviously we had hoped that this would all be live, but things happen. I realized that my internet connection is not as strong as I thought that it was. But yeah, thanks for joining us. We had asked you guys to come with some homeschool hacks. So some of you who are parents who have been homeschooling for a while, we asked you to submit what are some things that you wish you had known when you were homeschooling. What are some things that you think would be helpful to other parents who might find themselves in circumstances where they are homeschooling for the first time and have no idea what they're doing? And you guys came through with some really good tips. So we're gonna take a couple minutes and we're just gonna go through what they are. And I'm pretty impressed. I feel like it's a long list of things. So hopefully these are helpful to you. And yeah, we don't know what this season is exactly gonna look like, but we're doing it together, and hopefully this is helpful. So first things first, give yourself an adjustment period. It's gonna take a while, and your family might not get into that rhythm right away, and so just make sure you're giving yourself grace in this season. It's gonna take some adjusting. Second thing that people said were really important is to read aloud together. So take time, make sure you're reading out loud. Pick a book, pick a series. It doesn't really matter. You can even go above your kids' age level, grade level of reading. That can be really helpful for them as far as developing good reading habits and things. The second tip was do the hardest subjects first. So when you go through your day, make sure if it's stuff that they really maybe don't want to do, try to get that stuff out of the way at the beginning of the day, and then leave things that are more enjoyable later on. The next thing someone said was divide schoolwork into things that can be done independently versus work that requires a parent's help. So especially if you have multiple kids, it's good to maybe compartmentalize it a little bit that way, to help everybody kind of get through all of their work together. The next thing is encourage natural curiosity. This one's interesting because it's sort of talking about that rabbit trails can be really good. Questions that they ask can be really good. You want to make sure that you're promoting self-learning. So if they're asking really good questions that maybe seem out of left field, the advice is just keep letting them ask the questions and see where it leads. I think it's good for kids to enjoy learning, and that means that we're promoting their curiosity. Let's see. This one is really good. I've heard this a couple different times, and I think that is very true with, it's very true. Don't try to replicate what the school looks like in your home. Schools are run a very specific way, and they're doing it for crowd control. They're not necessarily running in the way that is best for learning all the time. So if you don't have 30 kids in a classroom, there are some limitations the more kids you put in a room. So feel free to make it look a little bit unorthodox. You do not have to run it as a classroom. You can adjust and adapt to the way that your kid learns best. So if you know that they learn best when they are moving and running, you have a very active kid, do things that are active. If you have a kid who loves to read, give them things to read and have them do it that way. I think it's just important to look at your kid and what they really enjoy about learning and the way that they like to learn and adapt that way. classrooms at school are not necessarily the model to go off of. Don't be afraid to try new things. So this one seems kind of like a no-brainer, but get creative, try things. If it doesn't work, then you have a whole nother day to start fresh. So let's see, someone said, oh, a school day at home doesn't necessarily mean a full length of a school day at school. So because class sizes is going to be a super small group of people, they might actually be able to get through all of their work in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, instead of 6. They might be able to do it in half the time. So that's okay. That's good. The next thing that you're going to want to focus on is you don't have to cover every single subject every single day, but it is important to do a little bit of writing and a little bit of math every day so that they don't get rusty. We want to be conscientious of this time and making sure that they're still keeping up with those standards and things. This one we talked a little bit about, but make sure that the learning is physical whenever possible. So if there is things that you can do to get them moving and active, especially since they're not necessarily going to be able to go outside all the time in this season, try to make it a game if possible. So if you need resources for games, you could pretty much look up anything you're trying to teach them and look for an online game version of it. So I think if you can turn learning into a game, that will go a long way. And if it can be a physical game, that will also go a long way. Someone also said that baking can be really good for fractions or for science. So that can be something that you're doing together, and it can be really fun. It can almost feel like they're not learning anything, but then at the same time you can be teaching them different math skills and things like that in that. This one is also really, really good, is have older kids teach the younger kids. So if you have kind of a wider span of ages in your family, it could be really, really useful to have the older kids sort of modeling and teaching the younger kids. It helps the older kids to solidify their knowledge, and it proves the comprehension of the older kids, while at the same time allows the younger kids to actually learn from their siblings. So feel free to drop down and comment if you know of any other things that could be really useful for parents. Feel free to do so. We're gonna be probably doing a part 2 here in a week or so, because we're all learning together. So but feel free to comment below, and I almost forgot. I can't forget. Family challenge of the day. So today's family challenge is in 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18. It says, "Be cheerful no matter what. Pray all the time. Thank God no matter what happens." We are in a season where we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know how it's going to work out or turn out. But we do know that God tells us to be thankful and to be joyful, to praise Him in all circumstances. And so today we want to encourage you guys to practice that gratitude. So we want everyone in your family to create a piece of artwork that shows what you are grateful for today. It could look a lot of different ways. So find whatever you have in your house and get going. Make something cool. Post it on social media, and go ahead and tag us, and we will we'll repost it for you. So that's today's challenge. We will be back tomorrow with something else. And thanks for hanging in with us. We'll see you later.